You have done the textbook prototype journey for someone to become a strength coach.
Yeah.
That grind.
I'm psychotic. Let's just get it straight. Like, everyone I work with thinks I'm crazy. I am crazy. I'm diagnosing myself right now.
Everybody, thank you for joining. My name is still Tim Riley. Before I introduce my guest today, you know what I'm just realizing? This is the first podcast I've done post-Apex. So just for everybody who is perhaps in seeing the social media content, it went really well. Austin, Texas was an absolute smash. Thank you to everyone who came out, competed, officiated, spectated, vendors, sponsors, everyone who's reposted and interacted with content. The Instagram page has like over 3 million impressions right now. It's blowing up. And Chicago only has, at this point, like 9 spots left. And that's all thanks to everybody who's listened, watching, and engaged. So thank you. First things first, thank you to everybody. Second, if you've been here for a while, you know the conversation, the talk, the knee-to-knee that we have to have. There are indeed 2 types of people on planet Earth. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. And we don't like to talk about them as much. And seeing as though some of you may fall into that category, I'm gonna let you in on something. In a family, you're supposed to love all of your children equally, right? But everyone knows that's not really true. Everyone has a favorite kid. Especially if you have more than 2, someone's got a favorite. We have favorites here, okay? We're human. I'm human. I favor subscribers. We just love them a little bit more. Now, here's the good news. You can win our favor. You can join the winning side. You can make your family proud. Me and Zach being your family. Hit the subscribe button. It's free to you. It helps us out a ton. You get to engage with awesome content. And by the way, how do I say your last name correctly?
Henderlong.
Henderlong. I get to have badass guests on like Mallorie Henderlong. Mallorie, how are you?
I'm great. I'm just happy to be here. Excited to finally do this.
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little socially drained after the week I've had, but.
You've been doing, so I've been following your socials. Your presentation at CSCCA, that's the right one, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, it's like NSCC.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's a lot. So many syllables and acronyms, actually.
So we love to do in this profession, just add letters.
Yeah, dude, more letters. Hell yeah. It's like, first of all, I got in this because I could only count to 20. The letters I'm out on. Yeah. But you crushed it.
Yeah, I thought it went really well. I mean, I didn't really intend to do that. My mentor and I, like 2 years ago, I was standing around at the conference with 2 of my mentors and one of my good friends. I'm like, gosh, these presentations suck. And they looked at me and they're like, do something about it. And then this year rolled around and my boss / mentor and I were reading this book. I don't know if you've heard of Mel Robbins. Some people probably think it's a little corny. She has that 5-second rule and she counts down. That's so stupid, but it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just do it. And my boss was like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so I applied thinking, I won't get selected. And here I am. But it was great for my development and growth and hopefully putting some better things out there.
There is something so powerful to just committing to something that you feel like is out of reach that you don't really want to do.
Oh, now I think I can do anything.
Right.
I'm like, gosh, why did I not unlock this superpower sooner?
I love that for you. That's awesome. Very cool. And, in addition to, crushing your presentation, you've got some new business ventures and stuff going on. So I can see that showing up in other areas of your life. Real quick, I know who you are. I've been following you for a long time. Your content's awesome.
Thanks.
You're an incredible coach.
Appreciate it.
You do a really wonderful job with your content as well. So you're doing all of the things. I question
that sometimes. I was just
DMing
someone, a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, dude, like, what camera should I buy? Like, where do I start to like take this further? And he's like, your iPhone. I was like, all right, I'll get the new iPhone, I guess. Right. But you just, as perfectionists and as competitors, you want things to be like to a T. What I find is the things that I put like zero thought into do the best.
Preach.
I'm like, why is this random video of random exercises saying that this is ACL prevention, like doing the best? Like I put maybe 3 minutes of work into that.
It is so one of the most frustrating phenomena as someone who has built multiple platforms is like what I would consider like high IQ content, like high effort, high IQ, or even like high quality, where it's like professionally done, always underperforms. Me just like literally doing like a selfie video and like just giving some like random opinions on something and like not even like doing it well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I should write out my points and it should be thoroughly thought out. Like the thing that I'm like, oh, fuck it. I'll just throw together like this quick like workout compilation of some of my athletes training. It blows up.
Well, people want authenticity.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing I try to remember. I even have that in my bio, fearlessly authentic. It's just been there forever. Maybe probably since I was like in high school in my Instagram bio. But I'm like, okay, that's what I strive to live by every single day.
Yeah.
And that's what I want my social media to be too. I want people to like know me through that to a degree, not all parts of me.
Sure.
There's got to keep some of it a secret. But I'm like, okay, I just want you to feel like you're getting a little sliver of what my life is actually like and what I'm actually doing with the athletes I work with or who I am as a person.
Well, you must be doing that right because something's working for you because you're blowing up and you're growing and it's happening.
Yeah,
so
it's exciting.
All right. I know who you are. Maybe not everybody does. So, Mallorie, can you take us through your background as an athlete, how you got into coaching? Give us the whole rundown.
Yeah, I come from a soccer family, so soccer was my first love. I'm the oldest of, I think there's like 14 of us, I'm not sure, maybe 12 grandkids. On my mom's side, my grandpa coached high school at my high school. He started it. My aunt and uncles went and played. My aunts and uncles went and played soccer in college. My mom just played for fun. But I was the first one out of the womb, first grandchild, and it was like, you're playing soccer. And I was like, okay. So I lived at the soccer field, grew up around the sport, went to a private facility growing up for sports performance.
Where were you growing up?
Crown Point, Indiana.
Okay.
So family still resides there, Northwest Indiana, like 45 minutes outside of Chicago.
Okay.
Grew up in a sports performance facility and went and played soccer at a small NAIA school. I mean, I wasn't a standout athlete, but I was good enough to like, keep playing. But found myself towards the end of my playing career, like loving the gym more than like touching the soccer ball. And I was like, Didn't play my last season of college soccer. Went and did an internship at TCU. Was crazy. And after my 8-week internship, there's a GA position that opened. And at the time, TCU operated under one roof, like football, Olympic, one roof. So the football director was hiring the position. And so my mentor, who hired me as the intern, was like, you got to ask him. And so I was texting him. I'm like, I want the GA position. I know nothing about college strength conditioning still. So what did I do? I got tickets to TCU was at Purdue.
Okay.
For football. And I went to the game.
Yes.
I got there early and I went down to the sidelines and I yelled from the sidelines. I'm like, Coach Summer, I've been texting you about that GA position. Like, hasn't been responding. And the rest is history. Yeah,
it worked.
It worked.
That is incredible.
It just takes some like audacity, I guess.
Yes.
And it helps that I was so naive. Like, so naive that like this girl is screaming at me while I'm warming the team up for the game. Like, it's crazy.
He's like, is someone yelling for me? And it's like, wait a minute. This is the young lady that's been fucking texting me about a GA position.
That I've been ignoring.
She's like, hey, I found you. Right. Yeah.
So I ended up graduating college early, going to TCU, do my master's. Ended up at UNC in like a part-time position.
Yeah.
I spent 6 months there. And then took my first full-time job at Baylor, 2.5 years working women's soccer, softball, acrobatics, and tumbling. And then...
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I assisted with those two. Soccer was my priority. But
right.
Dude, let me tell you about acrobatics and tumbling. Have you seen the highlight video of the girl?
No.
Oh my gosh, the things that they do, we're going to have to get into that.
Please.
They do some crazy like stunts. So acrobatics and tumbling is pretty much a cross between like gymnastics, tumbling, acrobatics, and competitive cheer. So they do some really like gnarly stunts and things that I'm like, how is that humanly possible? And then kind of have a floor routine where they compete like competitive cheerleaders. But the vast array of athletes you get in that sport, because you got the big girls that are the bases,
yes,
and then the really tiny girls that you're like throwing in the air, right. And so that was pretty remarkable. Probably closest thing to coaching a football group, as crazy as it sounds.
So well, it kind of makes sense because you have to be twitchy, you have to be powerful. There has to be a tremendous base of strength, particularly for the girls that are, bases. And then I guess flyers have to be like,
it's like your O-line versus like...
DBs.
Yeah. honestly. But then also better energy. So those girls would start outside the weight room. We'd blare the music and like blow our whistles. Like you would have thought you were coming into a football lift, all in the football weight room too. So that was like,
honestly, that sounds fucking awesome.
It was so fun. Like the best.
And they're incredible athletes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like watching someone tumble at that level is like, oh, you're different. Like you're actually a very good athlete. I feel like cheer and like anything under that umbrella doesn't get the love it deserves.
Oh yeah, not at all. Like competitive cheer.
Yes.
You know, nothing against the cheerleaders on the sidelines. They're our spirit for football games.
Yes, we love you too.
Yes, we do.
Shout out cheerleaders.
Shout out cheerleaders.
You know, but you're right. So, and I've recently become aware of this because my daughter was convinced up until just 2 days ago that she wanted to do competitive cheer.
Okay.
And I have a deal with my daughter, honey. Anything you want to pursue, if you pursue it as hard as you can, I'll support you. That's the deal. So she comes to me and she says, Dad, I want to do cheer. And I'm like, fuck. Not because I don't.
That's not what I meant.
That's not because like I don't appreciate the sport or how incredible the athletes are, but because I know the commitment required at a young age and kind of the culture around it is not always so great. It can be kind of insane. Every sport is, let's be clear, right?
But especially for a young female.
Yeah, I don't love like there's like body image stuff wrapped up in that and just like things that like maybe
cliquey pettiness, maybe more than you get in other places.
Correct. And I think that that's a fair assessment. Okay. I don't think I'm being unfair to cheer with that. I think if anyone is a cheer mom listening to this, you're probably nodding your head. You know the truth, Sarah.
Tim's about to be making bows in his living room.
So, and like, I'm here for it. Sign me up. And, you know, I'm helping her with her back walkovers and we've got a mat in the living room. Like, we're doing it.
Oh, you're all in.
Oh, dude, I'm fully commit. I told her I will fully commit. I also know she's much better at volleyball and basketball, like way better. Like, she's like not that good at cheer, you know? But she went through the whole process. She tried out. And then I had an honest conversation with her because I could tell in practice and stuff, she like doesn't really like it.
Oh.
And I said, hey, are you doing this because you want to be good at cheer or do you like want to get cute and travel and be the center of attention? Like I almost said it exactly like that. And she was quiet and she was like, I just want to travel and be. And I was like, honey, can you speak up? And she was like, it just looks really cute. That's what she said. I'm like, okay, well, these practices are going to be 2 hours long and that's not going to be cute.
Yeah, it's not cute.
And so literally 2 days ago, she was like, Dad, you're right. I love volleyball the most.
And she can be cute there.
I was like, babe, you can be cute and you can have fun and be with the girls and still be the center. She wants to be the center of attention, which like, I wonder who she gets that from. But like she does. And I was like, well, look, like instead of chasing this thing you don't really like, why don't you put energy into the thing you know you love and I'll support you. She's like, great. I was like, I'm already hitting up the travel team here local and stuff. Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. Anyway, total rabbit hole. But like cheer, being there in that facility, I'm like, oh my God, there are 6 and 7 year old girls who are displaying way more athleticism than I ever could in my entire lifetime.
Oh, I was amazed. Like anytime I would see them in the weight room or the few times I went to practice, I'm like, y'all do this every day?
Yes.
And then they go out there and compete and it's just like, I mean, shout out my old roommate, Courtney Tompkins, is their strength coach. I mean, they just won their 11th natty.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they're finally transitioning to be an NCAA sport, so that's huge. So shout out to Baylor Acrobatics and Tumbling.
Wow. Shout out Acrobatics and Tumbling. Shout out Baylor. Big deal. Okay, so after that stop.
Yeah, well, at Baylor, I somehow convinced my boss at the time to let me do a 2.5 month internship here in Austin at Austin FC. So spent the summer with Austin FC's first team. And that was like a huge stepping stone for my career because I knew like soccer's my passion. I only want to work with soccer. I love college athletics because you get still like there's developmental piece.
Yep.
Developmental as an athlete and like a young adult. So you get to see someone come in as like a freshman baby and help them grow and develop into maybe a young adult, and whether they continue to play sport or just go into whatever passion that they're called to.
Right.
But I wanted to know, okay, how am I going to help these athletes who do want to play professionally, what that looks like? and do I want to be in a professional environment? So did that, learned a ton, then took a job at NC State. I was there for 6 months, worked men's and women's soccer. I had no intention of leaving, but my mentor and good friend got the job at Auburn as the AD the day I took the job at NC State.
You're like, dang it.
Yeah, I was like, girl, she was at UNC still at the time.
Okay.
And I'm like, we're supposed to live in the same vicinity as one another. Finally, like, come on. Right. And I like look up to her so much as a woman in the field, as a wife, as a mother.
Can you name drop this?
Yeah,
wonderful?
Jordan Nielsen. She's my boss.
Shout out Jordan. Thank you for being such a wonderful person and mentor.
Yes. And so I'm like, gosh, like, that sucks. Yeah. And then I took her all my moving boxes. The day I started work at NC State, that night, took her my moving boxes. She's like, come to Auburn. I'm like, girl, what? Like, I just started work. And I think she was kind of joking. I'm not really sure, but here we are.
Right.
Yeah, and then 6 months later, had a coaching change at Auburn, the head coach. And he's like, I want a soccer-only person. And my friend's like, well, I know someone. And she texted me. And she's like, do you know anyone that would want the job? I'm like, are you asking me?
You're right.
So, I mean, I think everything aligned, right? I get to go work for my own people.
Yep.
I have only women's soccer, and it's the SEC.
Yeah.
Like, unfortunately, the ACC is like the soccer conference, but that doesn't mean my compensation is going to match that. So, kind of those three big
fascinating. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. I mean, ACC is like the soccer conference on the women's side. Like,
okay.
That pretty like tiki-taka soccer. Okay. And then the SEC is like the athlete conference. Like, you're going to get some dogs and they're going to come running through you.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But I'm here for it.
SEC chants start everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am an SEC elitist. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I'm being from Tennessee. Go Vols. I am the real UT, by the way. For all of my Texas listeners, can I tell you a little piece of information? Just want to share this with you. The University of Tennessee was founded before Texas was a state. That's it. That's that. Anyway, by the way, how do you love being at Auburn? Because that place is rich in history and tradition, and it's pretty epic. It's growing on me. Is it? It's grown a lot on me recently. And everyone said the SEC was different. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I got there and I'm like, oh, this is what y'all are talking about? It's like a cult. It's kind of culty really, a little bit. Like very culty. But Auburn's my first like true college town. So I'm adjusting to that piece of it. Yes. Because I go everywhere and it's like, Auburn. I know I'll be wearing an Auburn shirt after work, going in the grocery store. Oh, I know the janitor that cleans the arena. Great. Wonderful. Yeah, Thank you. Excuse me. I'm trying to get to the bread. Yeah. Yeah, but it is pretty cool. Like everything surrounds Auburn. Everyone just like comes together in the community to support the university. So that's a cool piece of it. Yeah. But as a young 28 single girl, I'm not finding love in Auburn. So yeah, we'll see. That's the biggest downfall. That makes sense. It's a small town. Yeah. Small town. A bunch of college kids. Yes. Bummer. Dang it. The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Aleco. Let's go. Not only is Aleco found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts. You name it, Aleco's got you covered. Go to aleco.com/coachemup and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet. This episode is brought to you by friend of the show, David Gray of David Gray Rehab, creator of the absolute game-changing foot, ankle, and Achilles program. To date, it's helped over 8,000 people, including Zach and myself, get back to running, jumping, and playing pain-free. This program isn't just for athletes, it's also been used by coaches and physios in the NFL, NBA, and Premier League, as well as every other major sport. And if that wasn't impressive enough, you can get the full program 15% off lifetime access when you click the link in the show notes and use code TIM at checkout. Now, back to the show. Can I circle back around to your mentor? This is something, by the way, everyone, Mallorie, confirmed subscriber. Okay. Yes. She shared this with me. Subscribe. But as a confirmed subscriber, you probably know how I feel about the power of mentorship. It's been vital in my life, not only professionally, but personally. How did this relationship start with your mentor? Like, how did that begin? And then how did it grow into a place where you're like, this person is my mentor? Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that's the most important part of mentorship. I tell young people all the time, a lot of times you don't pick your mentor. They pick you. Right? The mentor picks the mentee.
you don't just get to pick, oh, I really look up to this person, I want them to mentor me. It doesn't really work out like that a lot of the times.
Yep.
But I transitioned out of my GA position to UNC, and Jordan was on staff there, the only female on staff, and the first female strength coach I got to work with. So during my time at TCU, which I spent 2 years there, I never worked with another female strength coach.
Wow.
I was the only woman like ever in the building. So just getting to learn from Jordan, having someone I could connect with on that level.
Yep.
And see, when I first got in this profession, I was like, oh, I'll do this until I become a mother. And then I'll find something else because there's no way I'm going to be able to do this as a mom. And I think even since I got into the profession, I started my internship 6 years ago, it's just grown drastically of having more mothers in the profession.
Yeah.
And people embracing that. So I've gotten to watch Jordan kind of step through all those phases of being a wife, and then getting pregnant and still showing up to work and training hard through that, and then embracing being a mom. And now she's an AD of a department. Like, she's doing it at the highest level you could possibly be doing.
What a badass.
So she is.
Jordan, you're elite. That is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm actually so happy to hear. You know what? I can also tell when you talk about her, you appreciate her as a human being.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a rule when it comes to having a mentor for me is my experience has been that it's one thing like, okay, like this person has been really successful in business and I'd love to learn from them for that. But I think a really good indicator of someone that you would want to spend a lot of time with is who are they as a human being and what does the rest of their life look like? Because I know plenty of people who have topical success as a coach or as an entrepreneur, but then you look at the rest of your life and you're like, yikes.
Yeah.
And some people may say, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to learn about this one thing. And what I've come to understand is like, it's not separated. It all very much so matters. And if you're taking on someone's energy and time and they're teaching you how to, because it's gonna be more than about just like the X's and O's of the profession. It's going to be how to live your life in a way that allows you to advance. What's been your experience? Like, I guess what I'm asking is like, do you agree that it's just as important? And do you have any examples of how she's helped support you as a person or any lessons that you've learned from her about being the kind of woman you want to be and not just coach?
Yeah. I mean, the way that she's able to handle like the workload that she has and then still go home and just like be home.
Yeah.
I think, and I get to see both sides of that because she is a really good friend of mine. So it's just funny, like balancing that act of like good friend and then boss. I mean, since her daughter, Austin, she's 3 now, was born, I've gotten Snapchats of her every single morning.
Oh my God. Adorable.
And so every morning for the last 3 years of my life, I get these Snapchats and like see into her life and just how she like gets to be a mother. And then we get to work and it's business, right? And then she goes home and it's the same thing. I'm in a grind era of my life.
Yeah, for
I've got no one else I have to worry about. It's just myself. And I always talk to her. I'm like, gosh, how do you do it? Like, how do you go home at the end of the day? I have no energy. Like, if I want to go to sleep, I go to sleep. And she starts the second half of her day, right? Like, I think people talk about that all the time. You go home and you start like
you just trade hats, trade uniforms.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm taking a shower and eating my food that I picked up from the food truck and going to sleep. So I think that's the biggest piece that I admire of her and like look up to from that sense.
Yeah. You have done what I would consider like the textbook prototype journey for someone to become a strength coach.
Yeah.
And a big school, dude. Like Auburn is Auburn. That's a big get. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You've clearly earned it. That grind that you just described, we kind of like moved through it kind of quickly.
I'm psychotic. Okay, like let's just get it straight. Like everyone I work with thinks I'm crazy. I am crazy. I'm always on the move. I'm crazy. So I'm diagnosing myself right now.
Okay, all right. But tell me more about, because like to get through that and to do all of that, there are certain things that are required of a person to get through, right?
A lot of sacrifice.
So can you tell me about that? Like for the person who's standing on the precipice of taking this journey, or maybe they're halfway through, right? Like what are the things that got you through that process? And not only got you through the process, but like you were able to like ascend pretty much every step along the way, which in and of itself is very impressive and incredible. And in a, space completely dominated by men and their connections and them being buddies and friends, right? I mean, let's be honest. That's the politics of any business, not just this industry, but everyone, right? That matters. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think that the biggest piece is one, having purpose behind it. So I think that's what gets me out of bed and gets me excited every day. I feel like my faith is really important to me, and this is just my platform I'm using to serve and mentor young people. So most days that's what gets me out of bed and pushes me through, but understanding there's just going to be certain seasons. And I knew stepping into my GA position, it's going to be a grind. I'm going to get a ton of coaching reps and very little sleep, and I'm going to intake a lot of caffeine. And
this is my caffeine era.
Right. And maybe you're not ingesting the most textbooks and getting really niche into specific topics. You're being a great generalist. A ton of coaching reps. Then you step in the next phase, and then I took a part-time position and it became a little bit more narrow, but not really. And then my first full-time gig, was things that came with that, and a ton of new sacrifices. I thought it was going to get easier and I was going to have more free time, and I didn't, because now I'm trying to dive in deeper to things. But I think along the way, the biggest thing for me was the relationships and taking the time to really get to know the people that I was working with, because they're ultimately why I've been able to position myself where I am now. Because I always tell people, well, if I wouldn't have met Jordan, I wouldn't have been at Auburn now. So that's been the biggest piece. But gosh, it's a grind every day. I'm crazy. I work a ton. Everyone around me knows I work a ton because sometimes I complain about it, but it's just part of the game. I'm willing to sacrifice my time right now to get where I want to get. And if other people, so I get frustrated sometimes when other people around me want to complain about well, I want this salary, I want this title. Well, then do the work. Or, okay, if I'm not going to get paid through my school, I'm going to make my own business and get paid that way. So either you can sit on the couch and be lazy, or you can do something about it. So
Mallorie, let's go, dude.
Do something.
Let's get ready to run through the wall. Let's go. I love that so much. And I resonate with that so much. And, you talking about just having a level of acceptance around hey, this period of time is going to be what it's going to be. And I feel so much of why people really struggle going through those periods of time is an unwillingness to just accept that it's going to fucking suck, bro. Period. I'll get a little quick story. When my daughter was born, she didn't sleep well. Okay, initially, right? And I was working 2 jobs. I was getting up at 4 or 5 a.m., personal training at a gym, and then I would go and I had my own business I was trying to build. And then my day would end and I would come home and it would be dad. And then so I wasn't getting enough sleep, and then it was interrupted most nights, right? And anyone who's a parent, you get it. It's just part of the deal, right? Well, initially, I'm really struggling. I'm fuck, I'm not getting enough sleep. And every night I'm going to bed hoping that I'm going to get more sleep. And it didn't take long. This happened pretty early on. Fortunately, a realization hit me. And it was this: Tim, you're not going to get sleep. Full stop. It's not going to happen. So you're spending all this time and energy thinking about how you wish you could get more sleep and I'm tired and everything. It's okay, valid, but also the expectation that somehow magically you're going to be getting more sleep is actually causing just as much stress and suffering as just accept it, and you'd be better off accepting the fact it's not going to happen, bro. This is your life. Deal with it. And the minute I made that switch, that sounds so simple, but it had a profound effect on my perspective and just my day-to-day life, where it was instead of me being kind of bummed out, I didn't get enough sleep and this workout's going to suck. It's nope.
Yeah, it's just mindset.
This is my life.
I'm I chose this.
It is what it is, and it's not going to be like this forever. And the minute that happened, my life got 10 times better. 10 times better. So you saying that perspective, that's what it reminds me of. It's just accepting the fact, this internship, it's not the end game.
No.
A lot of it might suck.
Well, and that's even where I sit at now. There's days where I get so overwhelmed. And recently it's been better. I had a night recently where I just had so much work that I needed to get done. It actually had to be done.
Yes.
Because sometimes I overwhelm myself. I just have so many things I want to do.
I get that.
And I'm doesn't have to be done right now, but I want it to be done. But this night, my head coach wanted something and he wanted it now.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, like I got so much going on, but you don't know that. And I just started crying. And I was like, Mallorie, get up off the ground and just do it. Because the 30 minutes you're wasting crying, you could be working.
Yes.
But I'm like, I did that to myself.
Yeah.
So
I also, you know what I hear from you? You have a ton of personal accountability.
Oh, way too much. I wish I had less personal accountability.
Tell me about this. Go on, because I can relate to that as well. So look, there's a double-edged sword to it. On one end, personal accountability, everything is in your control, right? You have the opportunity to change your outlook, circumstances, way of thinking, everything. The downside of that is like you go too far into that and it's suffocating.
Oh, so suffocating.
Is that a fair assessment? Because that's as someone who has struggled with that as well.
And people in my life tell me this all. My mom's always telling me, she's like, you did that to yourself. Now you put yourself in that situation. I'm like, thank you for the reminder, mother. But it's twofold for me, right? Because I have a university that I'm serving in a soccer program that my problem is I'm a yes person.
Yeah.
Like I'm working on yes, but.
Right.
Or yes, but not right now.
Yep.
And I want everything to be done at elite level. So if you ask me to do something, I'm giving 101%.
Yes.
Which means I'm probably spending way too much time on it than I actually need to. My expectations for the task you gave me are higher than you expected.
Yes.
So that's my problem in my day-to-day workspace.
Yep.
And then building your own business, and I'm sure you understand this, I have really high aspirations for what it could be.
Yep.
And I want it to be that right now.
Yep.
And so I have to bring myself back to reality. And I'm like, this is where we are.
Yeah.
And it's okay that we are here. So that's my biggest problem.
That's a lot of wisdom wrapped up in about 90 seconds there, y'all, by the way. So I resonate with everything you said. I want to go back to your experience because you've worked with football, you've worked with acrobatics, and there's another sport in there I'm forgetting as well.
I mean, I lost
Help me.
softball, fencing at UNC.
Oh my God.
Cross country. I helped with lacrosse a little bit.
Okay. There's an array. This question is about to be even better than I thought it was going to be. All right. I'm going to give myself a preemptive pat on the back. All right. For soccer S&C at large, right? This is what you do.
Yeah.
And you're a badass at what you do. What have you been able to glean from other sports? Things that you feel like are maybe like some glaring deficits in what would be considered traditional soccer S&C. And let's start there and know what's coming later is like what's vice versa. So we're eventually going to get to what can other sports take away from soccer S&C. But for now, with all the experience you had, what are some big takeaways you've been able to pull from other sports and insert into S&C that has really helped shape you as a strength coach?
Yeah, I think first is just a really generalist approach. The soccer community has been afraid of the weight room forever. They think it's going to make people big, slow, and bulky, and it's not. So just meeting my group where they're at, but applying really generalist things. But I think another rabbit hole I'm about to go down is just the rotational component of soccer.
Yeah.
And people don't think about that. Every time you go to strike the ball, whether you're shooting or you're crossing or you're passing, there's some rotational component. I haven't dug into that a lot, but at the conference I was just at, someone was talking about like rotational athletes. And we think baseball, tennis, golf, but I'm like, okay, soccer is a fairly rotational sport if you think about it. So that's a rabbit hole I'm going to go down. I haven't applied much in my space quite yet. But then something I think people can learn from soccer, I think a lot of the times in the soccer
I feel like you're struggling to be nice right now.
Yeah, well, I told you I was listening to your podcast this morning and Alec talked about how like a lot of it just doesn't matter. Like, and I think at the end of the day, I keep coming back to that. A lot of what I do with my population really doesn't matter in the gym. Like they're so undertrained and underdeveloped and haven't had a lot of experience in the weight room. If I have them squat, hinge, push, pull, they're going to be substantially better. Right. And I've seen that with my group. I do nothing flashy, nothing fancy. They're going to come in the gym 3 times a week in the off season. One day maybe more like acceleration based, heavy strength day. One day maybe like more upper body focused, like correctives, if you want to say unilateral work. And then later on in the week as we prepare for match day, it's the more like speed based, right? Concentric in nature. But we're just squatting, hinging, pushing, pulling, rotating and stabilizing through the pillar, core, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I'm like, it's not that renowned, and it doesn't have to be as fancy and perfect sets and rep schemes of the right intensity that we think it needs to be.
So that's been my experience as well. Particularly in populations, because the context is key here too, right? Where you're getting athletes who are D1 athletes, they're badass athletes,
Yep.
They're really naturally gifted, but their actual training age might be pretty fucking small or almost non-existent, right? They're just like really good at soccer and they're just a better athlete than you anyway,
And that's why they're there.
Right.
I think we lose sight of that sometimes. Like, these kids are not here to be power lifters, Olympic lifters, or freaks in the weight room. They're there to play their sport and excel at their sport. And my coach's paycheck relies on them performing and executing. And my bonus structure also relies on that, which I haven't gotten yet. Come on, girls. But I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, right? And now you can look at like a sport like track and field. Okay, I get it. Like, it does matter a lot more in regards to periodization and volume intensity, and maybe a sport like swim and dive as well. But for soccer, like, I just need these girls to be stronger and healthier.
Yes.
And on the field.
How much do you run into with working in women's soccer? Do you bump up against girls not wanting to lift because they're afraid to?
Not anymore. No, I think it's
love to hear that.
It's more of a coaching problem than anything. It's the coaches that think that.
Yes.
And it's the male coaches that think that.
Interesting.
But the men's population are the ones that struggle to get in the weight room. Sorry. I just think that they don't know what they don't know. And I think they're still stuck in like the old days where maybe our female coaches are like, I'm a woman and I see how this like influences my life.
Yes.
And could have impacted my game. So that's like where maybe the difference lies, but I'm not sure. But example, when I was at NC State with men's and women's soccer, like the girls getting in the weight room, awesome. They're not going to fight me on that. Now the men's soccer players, my little field fairies, that's what I would call them.
I love that.
I think that population, right, especially in college soccer, you have a ton of guys coming from overseas.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, there's a large population of international players.
Oh, I didn't even consider that. So culturally, it's just that's
culturally,
not even part
it's
of
like they're like, what is the weight room?
Right.
I remember I had one kid at NC State. He's like, I'm just going to do the leg extension and leg press. But that's what he knew.
Right.
Right. And so I've said this on a different podcast before, but if someone walked in that weight room when NC State men's soccer was training when I was there, they would have thought it was a house party. We all had our little like Gatorade pups and we got like the frat flick going on. But I just tried to cultivate an environment where the guys were excited to be in there and did something. I was not married to any movement pattern at all. Like, someone may be doing rear foot elevated, reverse lunge. I'm like, as long as we're doing something, great.
As long as we're checking that box and bringing some level of intensity to it.
For me, it was all about the stimulus. And let's just check that box.
You're just, I know that I love you so much because it sounds like you think the same way I do. So, but it's very refreshing to hear that. And it's also really cool to just, if I could comment on your perspective, it's awesome to hear that more and more of that is permeating its way across all S&C. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, especially in the soccer community. And I think that's a big thing I'm after is like changing the game of like performance training and strength conditioning in soccer and really getting in like the youth levels, because we've gotten it so wrong and we still get it wrong. And there's some people sending really great messages, and then like the local speed bro is still just like, I don't know, running
speed ladder.
Yeah, speed ladder. It's going to make you faster. Not hating on the speed ladder. I use it as part of my warm up.
Right.
But it's part of my warm up.
It's fun. It's engaging.
Yeah. Especially for youth.
Yeah.
But stop telling their parents that that's what's making them faster. Okay, let's teach them how to like move better in the gym. So
it really is incredible, like depending on context too. It's like, because there are athletes I have where I was like, this guy doesn't need to lift, but then, but that's one very specific context.
Yep.
The other is like, if you have a 12-year-old and you watch them run, it's like, God, if they just weren't so damn weak, they would just be better at everything.
And that's the biggest thing I'm learning in being in this space and working with youth athletes a lot more. I'm like, if they can just do 2 days in the gym, give me 2 days. But all the parents want the speed work, and you know, running a business, you gotta like give them a little bit of what they want. And so we do that. But I mean, I always tell the parents, I'm like, if you're gonna skip days, skip the field, get 2 days in the gym.
So you just touched on something that a lot of people really struggle with. And it is part of the reason why I've seen so many people have unsuccessful businesses as private sector coaches. What you just said was the parents want one thing. You know it's not necessarily what they need, but because it's a business, you have to give them a little bit of that thing.
And it hurts.
Here's the deal, guys. That is the game. Because at the end of the day, when someone's paying you, key point, someone's paying you, you're providing a service.
Correct. And the parents are the consumers for the target that I'm targeting, or the audience I'm targeting. Like, I'm trying to get the parents to buy in.
Yes.
And not the kids.
Yep.
Like, the kids may find me on social media, but the parents are the ones swiping the credit card.
That's right.
So that's been a key thing for us. We've even switched we just launched in January. But we've already, we've already switched some of the names of our packages, because I'm a big, like, I just want to do simple really well, right? So we had our standard package. Well, no one wants to be standard, Tim. Everyone thinks Sally and Susie are elite.
Yes.
Okay, so now our lowest tier package is elite.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So
I would buy that. Where do I sign up, dude?
Everyone's elite.
I want to be elite.
Yeah. So, and then,
Wait, what's your highest package? Diamond?
No, Pro.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, so we have Elite, Premium, Pro.
Oh my God. So you've got it figured out.
Yeah.
I hope y'all are taking notes at home, by the way. That's incredible.
It hurt me a little bit to do that.
Yeah.
My brother and I had gotten on a phone call with someone else that we know runs a really successful business, and I mean, that's what we took away from the call. We're like, we've got to change it.
Yeah. And did it make an immediate difference?
Yes. So, yeah, it's making a difference, because no one wants to be standard. But then maybe what was I don't even know what the name of what was our elite package at the time was, like, maybe too expensive for the average person.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to meet the average people where they're at. Mm-hmm. So it's changed some things.
So, first of all, hats off to you for, running a strength conditioning program, and also having the willingness to start your own business. Godspeed, and bless your heart and soul. Ooh. Because I know what it's like to start one business and two, and have and I don't even have it from the amount of time, effort, energy, travel that goes into being a part of a college program. So let's talk about that. First, let's start with congratulations.
Thank you.
2, what inspired you to do this? And it's High Power Performance, correct?
Higher Power Sports Performance.
Higher Power Sports Performance. Go follow it on Instagram.
HPSP.
You got it. Hey, love that. So what inspired you to start it? And then what has the process been like figuring out how to get it off the ground and working your way through that? Because it's not easy, dude.
Oh, it takes a lot of patience. And running a family business, because I'm in business with my dad and my brother. So that's another important thing, right? And so you hear the stories of, like, family business.
Oh, yeah.
And how it plays out, but it's the biggest blessing. So I think during my time at Baylor, I knew I wanted to play a role in impacting, like I said, like the soccer community. Like, soccer's given so much to me and my family. Like, how do I give back to it? And this is the gift and ability I have. But I didn't really know what that meant for me. So here and there, I've sold some training programs on Train Heroic. It doesn't stick. You make a couple extra.
You're constantly having to resell. Yeah,
a couple extra $100,000 here and there, whatever. 100,000, no. 100 or 1,000.
Yeah, typically hundreds or thousands. Yes.
I wish.
I was about to say, full stop. Let's now the podcast is only going to be about how to make $100,000. Yes.
And I made this move. I mean, just being honest and transparent with people. I made the move from Baylor to NC State, and it was a lateral move. Right? I didn't make more money going to NC State. I actually took home less money because my rent was more expensive. But I knew, okay, personally needed to make this move, and it's only soccer. Well, I was there, I'm like struggling to figure out how to pay all my bills and whatnot. And my dad's like, calls me one day, and he's like, I want to invest in your business. I'm like, what business? Mm-hmm. And he's like, we're going to call it Higher Power Sports Performance. Like, let's do this. And I'm like, okay. And then a month later, I take the job at Auburn. I'm thinking, oh, this isn't going to happen. Like, I don't have the bandwidth anymore. And then I think I was home for Christmas right before I moved to Auburn. My dad's like, let's figure it out, whatever. My brother plays soccer professionally. So then he was brought into it because he mentors young soccer athletes. So it's a holistic approach to soccer development.
Very cool.
And I got to Auburn in January of last year. So we pretty much spent 1 year figuring out what this business was going to look like.
Wow.
And so it was just weekly Zoom calls, usually on the weekend of, hey, this is how maybe we should do this, maybe what we shouldn't do. We had a lot of great ideas, a lot of really bad ideas.
Of course.
Thought we were going to launch sooner than we did. Originally we're like, let's launch in August. And then August became October. And then October became November. And then finally it was December. And
classic.
We're like, here we go.
Yeah.
And we've already changed things since then.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's just taken a lot of discipline to stay on top of my work at Auburn and then do this on the side. And really, we want people in our community. That's what we call it. Like, you're not just another athlete. We're not checking a box. It's a niche community of people who love soccer and want to play at the next level. Whether the youngest athlete in the community is 8, right? And he wants to play on the next travel league team.
Yep.
And then I have an 11-year-old in the community I've trained way before Higher Power started. She's our first athlete. She's 11. She wants to play on the U.S. women's national team. And you heard it here first. She will.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And then we just signed some other sisters actually that play for Lone Star here in Austin.
Really?
They're in the youth national team pool. So, we have athletes that want to play at the next level. We're not for everyone. You're not the local rec league kid. It's going to take a ton of commitment. So
I love that you have clearly defined what you are. And by defining clearly what you are, you define clearly what you're not.
Yep.
That's incredibly helpful to attract the kind of person you want to work with.
Yeah, and it keeps us like level-headed, right? We're not chasing everyone.
No.
Like, this is who we want in the community.
What you run into, and anyone who runs, works with youth athletes at any level, whether you own a business or a sports performance facility or you're just doing it one-on-one, is kids and parents are incredibly unreliable. In general, and that's what I did for the longest, was working with middle school and high school athletes, collegiate and I'll take anybody. You're an athlete, let's go.
And you end up doing more work.
Way more work.
So that's what I'm learning. And I think we recognize that early on, which is why we only work soccer athletes. And you probably play at a decent level for where you're at. And you got to be committed because it's remote. I train 2 kids in person. The rest of it's remote. So the parents, right? I'm coaching the parents on how to coach. So the 8-year-old in our community, he's from Montana, and his dad and I message back and forth. He'll send me videos. I'll be like, hey, this is how you coach him on this, right? The parents have to be invested in too. It's a really cool journey.
That is awesome.
I mean, we have a family.
The skill set you're acquiring by being able to do that at a distance.
Yeah, sometimes I want to rip my hair out.
I bet. But how much has that helped your in-person coaching? Has it?
Yeah, I think it's been a good balance and helped me like appreciate where my athletes are at that I coach in person.
Yes.
But it's given me something else too. I think I struggle with that sometimes, having only soccer at Auburn. I'm like, gosh, I wish I still had another sport or some other people to coach. So now that I have youth athletes, I coach in person, coach online. It's a good variety of things, right? I feel like I've gotten to the point with my group at Auburn. They're awesome. I don't even have to coach them. Like,
yes.
They just know what the expectation is.
Yep.
And we're in a good rhythm. So here it's like, okay, there's actually a problem. Like, you need to learn how to hinge your hips.
Yes.
Where if my kids at Auburn have that problem, then why at Auburn?
Yeah, but that's a testament to you building a culture and setting a standard and upholding the standard. And so.
But I think it's so exciting when a kid like doesn't squat well and then you're a month in and you're getting videos of them just like so proud of themselves.
Yes, that's so cool.
Or the little boys in the community, like they're obsessed with push-ups. It's like the cool.
Very cool.
I can do more push-ups than my friends. I'm like, okay. Woo!
Let's go.
Did something right.
The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with OVR. In the world of athletic performance testing, OVR has truly changed the game. From their timing gates, vertical jump testing units, and their velocity-based tracking systems, they are simple, easy to use, reliable, precise, and check this out, affordable. I'm such a big believer in OVR. I've partnered with them in my competition, Apex, and they are the official timing gate system of the Fast 40 event. Finally, a tracking device company that is accessible to everyone. They even have an app where you can track, log, and see your results in real time. If you're not testing, then you're just guessing. Click the link in the show notes and gamify your training. Something we were talking about offline before the podcast started was conditioning for field sport athletes and conditioning in soccer in general, just kind of the culture around what that is, what it's traditionally looked like, maybe what a better use case of how it should look like.
Yep.
So let's start with what, for field sport athletes, what is like the traditional concept of conditioning look like? Let's start there.
The traditional concept. I think we've gone back and forth on conditioning in recent years, right? Everyone used to do like 300s. In soccer, you had what's called the man-u test. So it's like 120s. You have so many seconds to get down, so many seconds to get back. It's just been a lot of like running. And hard running. It's not truly necessarily aerobic all the time, but it's just like we're going to do hard things. And then I think we started to creep to the other side where we're like, do we really need conditioning or should we just do like speed work?
Yep.
And I've also been on that. I was at a point where I was like, oh, we don't need to just do like conditioning sessions. We just need to play our sport
and get faster.
And get faster, which I still believe that.
Right.
But in the college space, my athletes spend crucial periods of time off campus. Season ends, winter break, 2 months. If my kids are not given a conditioning regimen to follow, we're doomed.
Yeah.
Or, they're not going to be fit.
Right. Yeah.
And then we're going to try to come back in the spring and teach new concepts, and we're not going to be able to do them because they're huffing and puffing.
Right.
Or right now, my athletes are off campus for 10 weeks, and they'll get back.
That's a long ass time, dude.
Yeah. So long. Right. And then we're going to go into preseason.
That does not happen in football.
No. I think soccer may be the worst sport in college athletics of your athletes are gone at the worst times.
Dude, that is a long ass time. I didn't know that.
Yeah. 10 weeks. So they left campus and we'll get them back this summer on June 29th. We'll start voluntary training because someone reported me last year. The SEC, shout out whoever you are. I don't like you. I know who you are actually. But
whoever you are listening, you know who you are. Just come on, get a grip.
I'm just trying to share good content. I'm just gonna go off on a tangent for a second.
Let's go.
About that.
I love a tangent.
Someone reported me to the SEC one day before preseason started last year because I was sharing content of the athletes I coached training during a voluntary training period, and it looked non-voluntary. Come on.
Wow.
Are you out to get me? Are you out to get my coach? Which one is it? I don't know. But
sounds like they're obsessed with you.
That upset me because I'm like, my whole mission behind what I share is to like educate in either coaches or parents or other athletes in the soccer community and kind of like change the game for soccer sports performance. And that person ruined it because now I'll be waiting until July 15th to post content of athletes again. So you'll just see me on my Instagram for the next few months.
Wow.
But
so petty.
So petty. But back to what I was saying. They'll come back on June 29th for voluntary training. We'll get started on July 15th. But that's a long period of time.
Not a day sooner.
Yeah, not a second sooner. But that's a long time to be off campus and maybe not participating in any organized training with the team.
Yep.
So those are two crucial periods of time where I like subscribe or prescribe conditioning. And really what that has looked like for me is I try to use Maximum Aerobic Speed. So it's just a derivative of VO2 max. And you can calculate this right in a lab and all of that, but I don't have time for that. So we just use some type of like timed fitness test.
Okay.
I've made an Instagram post about this recently. I prefer to use either a mile, right? There's no change of direction. You just go out and run. It's truly aerobic.
Yep.
Or we
Love that. Got an event.
Yeah.
This is the mile in Apex.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right. Every athlete runs the same distance.
Yes.
And then what we use at Auburn is called the Bronco. I had never used it till I got
familiar with the Bronco test.
It originated in rugby.
Yep.
I had never used it till I got to Auburn, but our head coach had used it at his previous stop. And I was like, okay, like I'm down, let's do it. And it's pretty much 20 meters back, 40 meters back, 60 meters back, 5 times as quickly as you can do it. There's still some change of direction component there, right? If we want to talk about soccer specific conditioning test, right? But what I love about it is every athlete covers the same distance.
Yes.
I'm not sure how familiar you are with the beep test or yo-yo or Nike Spark.
I am. I'm familiar with all of them.
Used to run those, not necessarily anti them.
The Nike Spark thing, again, I'll shut up about Apex, but the Apex score is like, I need a score for people. And the concept of that came from Nike Spark because it was so fucking cool. Everyone had a Spark score. Yeah.
But everyone doesn't have to cover the same distance. So I think there's a mental component to that test. And if anyone knows anything about female athletes, we are mental, right? And so I think athletes tend to give up in that fitness test mentally before their body actually gives up physically.
Yes.
And so I don't think it's a true reflection of their aerobic capacity. So I think I stick to Bronco and mile. And then I just calculate maximum aerobic speed from there. With that, then you can prescribe time, like distances in set periods of time. So you may have done better on the Bronco than me. So we're both going to go run 90 seconds, but you're going to run a little bit further and I'm going to run a little bit shorter. And neither of us is overtraining or undertraining. Now, it's not perfect all the times.
Sure.
I still have a coaching eye and athletes still moving up and down groups, but pretty much I group our athletes for all of our conditioning.
And that sounds like it gives you a very reasonable starting place.
Yes, it's practical too.
Yes.
It's not hard to do. You don't need any equipment to test these athletes in the mile or the Bronco, maybe some cones.
Right.
Right. And anyone can do it. Mm-hmm. And I've pretty open about that on my social media. Like, shoot me a message. I'll send you my calculator of once you run the Bronco, drop the time in. There's your maximal aerobic speed. I have a whole spreadsheet of, okay, now say we're going to go do short intervals. 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off. How far does Sally need to run in those 15 seconds? And maybe we want to be at 90% maximal aerobic speed, or we want to be at 100%, right? And I have kind of a spreadsheet that does all that for me.
I love that. That sounds like a very pragmatic approach.
You love that word.
I do. It's so important to me.
Yeah.
It is. I do love that word. She is a subscriber.
I am. I listen to every episode. That's how you know.
I love that. Thank you. So speaking of speed, you just did a presentation on GPS. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the premise of it is like how to use it like the right way.
Yeah.
So in order for us to use GPS correctly, that operates under the assumption that it is frequently used incorrectly, or at least, suboptimally. Okay.
I always say everyone has it. Like if you looked at any field sport program across the country, they have some form of GPS. Now, are they optimizing its use? I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah.
So
I that's kind of the feedback I typically get from most coaches. It's like, yeah, we got it. We have a report.
Yep. And move on.
Because everyone does it. Everyone else is doing it. We got to do it.
Yeah.
So, Mallorie, how do you optimize its use? What does that look like for Auburn soccer?
Yeah, it's been a journey. So every stop along the way, I've kind of like refined my approach. But I think my coaching staff gives me full free range to really create a type of system I wish I had like when I first started.
Very cool.
And didn't understand. I think a lot of times we make it about metrics and we make it about numbers and we start chasing those things, right? So maybe we change a drill or change a practice just to hit a metric. Oh, we need more high speed running, or we need more sprint distance. So we're going to completely change what was intended. But for me, it's all about themes. Right? What's the day theme? So we use the match day plus minus model in soccer. It's really common, right? Match day plus is anything that happens after a match, So those practices tend to be more technical, recovery focused, lighter sessions. Match day minus days or before a match tend to be intentionally structured for the right level of like physical and cognitive stress. So my whole presentation was about kind of reframing the system, right? There's physical stress, which GPS captures. That's the one thing GPS can do really well. It can tell you how fast, how far. That's important. But we forget this emotional and cognitive piece that GPS doesn't tell us about, right? We don't know if a session's cognitively fatiguing. We don't know if an athlete is dealing with pressure, fatigue, or stress outside the training environment. So that's where human interaction comes into play, right? AI is not going to replace us.
No.
So I think with our staff, right, we sit down at the beginning of the week and we plan out, okay, what's the theme of each day? So a Monday, we're coming right back off the weekend. Maybe we played on a Saturday. Sunday was off. I'm not going to throw the freaking dumpster at the kids. So kind of technical reintroduction. We're just getting our feet moving again. It's a low stress day, low cognitive, low volume, low intensity. Now Tuesday, we're going to get after it. So that can be a hard day, right? We're going to be competing and working in like transitional moments. Want a ton of high intensity actions through acceleration and deceleration. So for our coaching staff to understand that, I'm like, okay, we're going to play small-sided games, right? So this is the day I want small-sided. This is the day I want people flying into the pitch, right? And competing and getting stuck in and the high mechanical load. Because now I'm still 4 days out from a match on Saturday.
Yep.
And then, right, as we get closer to match day, I don't want as much of that mechanical load. And so that's when we can start to open the pitch up and do more like tactical work, cohesion. But I know that's kind of a lot and not really straightforward at all.
No, I think it's very, I mean, it sounded very.
I just stopped chasing numbers and started looking at like performance.
Yeah.
Right. What are we trying to accomplish as soccer players? And what is the staff trying to accomplish from like a teaching standpoint? Rather than, okay, Susie needs to sprint more.
I think that makes a lot of sense. One would say common sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sounds pretty good to me. Also, congratulations on that presentation.
Thanks.
Too.
I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. All right. I've got some Q&As here.
Let's do it.
Real quick, shout out to everyone listening and watching. The Q&As lately have been off the chain. You guys have been taking the time to ask really good questions and engaging. The more you guys do that, the more we'll continue to include this in episodes, and I think it really makes the episode a lot of fun. So thank you so much, first and foremost. This is from Joe.Dores. What is a training principle you believed in that you've changed your mind about?
Ooh, this is a recent one. You know, I just don't believe in Olympic lifting my soccer players. And I don't know if I'm going to do that, right? But I see the value in Olympic lifts.
Yep.
And I've been pretty vocal on social media, like kind of vocal of like, I'm not going to Olympic lift like the soccer group, right? But one of my coworkers, I think he purposely did this. I made a post about Olympic lifts, and then like 2 days later in our staff meeting, that was his educational topic he decided to present. I'm like, shout out Jack. Just at me next time, brother.
That is fucking funny.
Right. But I think sitting back and reflecting during his presentation, I'm like, okay, like I really understand why people love Olympic lifting and where there's value in it. Now, will I implement it with my soccer group this fall? Probably not.
Yep.
Like we're trying to win soccer games. But maybe next spring when I have the whole group there, I'm going to think about it.
Okay. All right.
We'll
I like that. Let me ask you this. What's your biggest reasoning for why you haven't done it up to this point? I tend to agree with you given the context, for the record.
Just the amount of time that I have with the group. I mean, we talked about that earlier.
Yep.
Like they're off campus during crucial periods of time. 8 weeks and 10 weeks. That's 18 weeks of this year that they're probably not going to Olympic lift.
Yep.
Because sending a female college soccer player into Anytime Fitness, because that's where they're going.
Yep, they're going to crunch.
Yeah, it's easier for me to be like, okay, we're going to dumbbell squat jump, we're going to depth drop, we're going to do...
And just get fucking stronger.
Yeah, we're going to get stronger, and we'll do kettlebell swings, med ball, scoop toss, whatever. And that's hitting a lot of the things that we need to hit as college soccer players.
Yep. Okay, just a quick shout out to you. This is from Albin_athletics. No questions. Thanks for your YouTube videos. Okay. I use your videos for my online training. So,
all right, maybe I'm gonna need to make them private.
yeah.
I'm just kidding. Or I'm gonna start charging.
Hey, put him on a paywall. Yep. Haley _Abrams 08 wants to know, is there a difference in the way you calculate GPS data for goalkeepers or field players?
Oh, so this is a rabbit hole. I haven't gone down a ton. But our goalkeepers, their role on the field is completely different than our field players. They are through Catapult GPS, which we use. They have a goalkeeper specific nugget or device. So we get metrics that are specific to goalkeeping. So dive count, whether that's total dive count, left, right. They have one for center. I still don't understand what a center dive is. We're just falling forward.
Face plant. Yeah.
They have metrics like time to feet. I mean, anyone that uses GPS knows you can go down a deep, deep, deep dive of millions of metrics. Those are the ones I've started to dive in a little bit more. But I look a lot more like explosive efforts for our keepers, right? Because they're not covering a ton of distance. So total distance doesn't really matter. How their player loads, their volume metric is going to be accumulated is different than our field players. So that's just the main thing I look at. I still look at player load, but then how is that player load accumulated, right? For field players, we're looking at high speed running, sprint distance, A cells, D cells. For our goalkeepers, I'm looking more so at A cells and D cells still, but more so like total dives, left and right. If a goalkeeper has an injury nagging on their right and they're diving to their right 80 times and only to their left 20, okay, well, I wonder why.
Yep.
So those are some small things.
I love that. This is from John _. Oh, damn it.
John's my dad, so I wonder.
Really?
I doubt it's him.
John _Curtis?
Yep.
Dad?
Not dad.
Not dad. Okay. All right. Shout out dad anyway. What is something you've learned through coaching that no education could have ever taught you?
Ooh, I could say a lot of things here. I think emotional regulation. And I still have a long way to go. But I think being right, because you just are put in situations that sometimes you're like, how do I react to this?
Yeah.
And I look at like younger me and where I am now in my coaching journey and how I responded to athletes or interacted with head coaches and athletic trainers back then, and how now I try to like sit back and let the situation play itself out and just be an information gatherer. I think that's my biggest skill set right now is I'm going to take a breath, I'm going to gather the information, and then I'll make a decision on how I'm going to address that, which I did not learn that in the classroom.
Yep. That is another way of saying that is restraint of pen and tongue. That's an old school way of saying that, but that is a skill and it's a superpower.
Yeah,
to not be reactive. It's hard. We're all still working. No one ever gets that perfect.
Yeah.
Some people are really fucking good at it, but yeah.
There was a girl, she's still on the team, and she wouldn't mind me sharing this, but last summer, I was riding her, Tim. Like, she could do nothing right in my eyes. She never ran through the line. Even maybe she was trying to run through the line, but she was never getting there quick enough. She wasn't squatting low enough.
Yeah.
Like, her energy wasn't feeding off of mine. And I rode her every day in front of her teammates.
Yep.
And finally, I took a step back and I'm like, gosh, I'm not getting the most out of her. So I think that's the art of coaching, is being able to adjust how you coach different athletes to get the most out of them. At the end of the day, they're kids.
Yep.
I'm the adult. I have to change how I approach them and how I handle situations with them to get the most out of them. And I even told her that at the end of the fall in our exit interview or end of season meetings. I was like, I'm really proud of you. And I had to take a look in the mirror and adjust how I was coaching you.
That's really impressive.
I think then we had conversation throughout that's like really mended our relationship, and now I have no problems. I can trust her to do what is expected.
That's fucking awesome.
So that's also something you don't learn in the classroom.
Very cool. That's awesome. Man, that's big.
Big girl moment for me.
Big.
Right there.
That's big for anybody. Yeah, incredible. C.rent_pursuit wants to know, unexpected pro or con of being a former soccer player turned coach.
Oh, unexpected con is, I think, especially when I first got started, I thought I knew a lot more about soccer than I did. And then I made assumptions about like how my coaching staff should be coaching and handling things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the end of the day, like they're the head coach. Like any head coach is going to put their best foot forward to win because their career and livelihood and how they care for their families depends on it. And Mallorie Henderlong is not the expert of soccer. So I just need to let my head coach do their job. So I think that hurt a little bit early on and limited me in how I handled things. But then I think it lets me connect with my athletes in a way that like I can still get on the field and like pass the ball and shoot. And especially with our return to play athletes, it just really helps me connect with them when they get to touch a soccer ball again for the first time. And I get to like be a part of that journey with them. Because I played, and so I can get out there and like pass around, and they're like, "Oh, like the touch is still good." It's like, yeah, come on,
fucking right, it is. Yeah, I know you love that.
Yeah,
that's so great.
I'm like, gosh, should I try to play in like a summer league, like a semi-pro?
Do you ever think about playing?
Oh, I could never.
Really?
Well, I always think about going and playing pickup, but then I've known people that have gotten very injured doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's really hard to do my job without an ACL.
No, look, dude, I get that. I actually don't play pickup basketball anymore. And Kelly Matthews, I think I've told this story, but I get hurt. I be getting hurt. I'm diving on the floor. I'm laying out. No one cares as much as me. I'm yelling at people I don't know. I'm like, hey, play fucking defense, dude. Yeah. I'm out here I'm risking my Achilles tendon out here.
For you.
And you're not playing help side?
Yeah.
Yeah. No chance.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
I recognize I'm the psychopath. Okay.
Yes.
I know that. We played flag football together in a co-ed league. She's like, I will never play another sport with you again.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Yeah. I'm like Tom fucking Brady out there. Like, well, first of all, subscribers know Emily, God bless her. She's asking for the ball. She sent me a text, Tim, I'm not getting the ball enough. You need to remember that this is meant to be fun. I'm like, that's funny because winning's fun.
Yeah.
But you're right, Emily. I'll throw you the ball. She drops every fucking pass. I about lost my mind. Okay. And now, not to her, at her, right? I didn't get that psycho, but like post game, I'm like, if she wants the fucking ball, she needs to catch the ball.
Yep.
Which, again, it's co-ed soccer worth all 30 plus. The field is mostly dirt. Like, I got to get a grip, Tim, But, shit, like if I get hurt, to your point, it's different.
It's really, I saw that through one of my internships I did. Someone got injured like a week in and they like weren't allowed to come to work because you crutching around on crutches is going to be a distraction in that environment. And how do you do your job?
Yeah, no, literally. Also, like it's like knowing that your job is so dependent on you being, like physically involved and being present. It makes it that much more unacceptable to me because I know it's like if I just didn't play that extra pickup game, I had no business playing in the first, you know what I mean? Like if I get hurt sprinting or jumping or lifting, so fucking be it. It's going to happen.
Well, that place is less chaotic.
100%.
When you're playing pickup, you're playing there's probably another Tim who's taking it
There is another Tim out there,
and is going to take your ankles out.
100%.
So that's what I'm concerned. I'm not concerned about me. I'm concerned about the people coming at me.
And also when you're playing pickup sports, it's like, it's the people who actually who are like not good.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are going to hurt you because they don't know how to actually play the game.
Yes.
And so they do some like ridiculous shit, like cut your legs out from underneath you instead of just moving out of the way when you're going for a dunk, speaking from experience. And then you do a full flip in air and dislocate your shoulder.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, I did that. I tried to catch myself on the backboard with my left arm and it popped right out of place. Oh. And then it was terrible.
In midair.
Yes. And then I landed on it. And everyone was like, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm not actually. Funny. Yeah, actually, I'm not okay.
That's hilarious.
All right. Anyway, back to the Q&As. All right. So, oh man, I don't know where to pick from these. This is a little bit out of the soccer realm and just more general. Kenobi wants to know, introducing sprints at 33. I lift 3 times a week. Would you start with hills, tempos, or true max velocity?
Well, not true max velocity.
Okay, let's just get that out in front. Kenobi, max velocity, off the menu.
I don't even know if you're going to hit max velocity. I mean, what is your max velocity? Maybe 13?
I mean, so let's just maybe not start with all out. Like
it was hills and what else?
Hills and tempos. Would you start with that or true max velocity?
I mean, That's just so wild. I mean,
Kenobi, we're not laughing at you.
Yeah, we're laughing with you.
We're laughing because I understand the question. This is a good question and it deserves an answer. Yes.
I mean, tempo runs would be great to like if you've never run, because to go from not running at all to now I'm going to sprint.
Yeah.
Tempo runs is probably a healthy place to start. Mm-hmm. The hill probably is going to slow you down a little bit. So
solid place to start.
Solid place to start.
Yeah. Hills and tempos for a while.
Yeah.
Right?
So rather than just
the question's for you.
I'm going to rip a 10-yard acceleration, rip it on the hill. You're going to go a little slower.
Yeah. Build those hamstrings back up.
Yeah.
Build that nervous system back up.
No max speed though.
Yeah. Not max speed.
But let us know if you do that.
Yeah.
Tag us.
Add us.
Let us know how the hammies are.
Okay, this might be tough to answer, but I'm gonna lob it up at you anyway. Sam_Upshaw, what type of data have you seen with body fat reduction as it correlates to speed and vertical jump?
I mean, yeah, it's a tough one because I'm not really looking at that. I think being in the college space, yes, our athletes do DEXAs. Mm-hmm. I think three times a year.
Okay.
But that's a touchy subject, Tim.
I know.
So,
especially with your demo.
Yes. So, working in the female athlete population, you have to be really careful about those things. But there are definitely things I look at, but there's not a lot of conversation around it.
Understood. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. CYA, cover your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nice.
I'm trying to keep my job.
Heard that. Shout out keeping your job.
Yeah. We love a job.
Also, love that.
Need that.
Love Auburn. Let's be clear. All right. Okay. Tyler.Bost55 wants to know, what are your go-to tests for in-season soccer? Do you do in-season testing? If so, what are they?
Yeah, so we'll jump on the force plates every week. I try to do twice a week in season because we'll lift like earlier in the week when we're maybe fresher, which are we ever fresh in season? No. Right. And then we'll jump on Friday, which is match day +1, so the day after a match.
Okay.
So when they're probably like really fatigued. Right, and we're pulling with whatever, a ton of different metrics from that. But ones that people probably know is just like jump height, concentric impulse, RSI mod.
How big are those discrepancies? Earlier in the week when they're freshest to like post-game?
In season, it's really not that big because they're
already buried.
They're buried. There's like
that's actually good information though.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think that I'm finding a lot too is like what's the external factors. If I'm over there like cheering on the girls to get it done, like cool, they'll jump better.
Right.
So, and then other times they're like, I'm cooked. I'm not trying. So that influences as well. But then we'll use everything Vold. So we have Nordboard. That's more like, we don't do that every week, probably once a month. And then also the force frame. We'll do hip abduction, adduction. Now, that's not really performance metrics for me. It's more, where it's like health and athlete availability and then any glaring things that maybe me and athletic med need to collaborate on to keep people healthy and on the field or address any huge asymmetries.
I feel like is that usually few and far in between though, those circumstances?
Yeah.
It's like pretty rare that like you get someone on the adductor test and like you're like, oh, that right groin is not working.
Yeah. And the other thing that we'll run into, or I think people make assumptions after like one battery of testing or even two. I'm like, there's a little bit of a learning curve for these athletes to do that test.
So true. Yeah.
So I'll test the first time when I get an athlete in and I just actually don't look at it because I'm like, this doesn't really mean much to me. And then a lot of times I'll test like 2 weeks later just so that it's like, okay, now here's how we do it. And then I'll start looking at the data longitudinally.
Makes a lot of sense. Justin Mayo has 2 good questions. And
my man
we
Justin.
want to reward those who ask good questions. And he is a repeat good question asker as well. Shout out Justin Mayo.
I hope you're a subscriber.
Justin's got to be a subscriber,
He's
right? If you're not, Justin, you know what to do. What values do you try and instill in recruits as freshmen at Auburn?
So our commits get training from me 4 months before they arrive on campus.
Hell yeah.
So I try to they get something from me the day that they possibly can. So as early as possible, I get working with them, and we do everything through Train Heroic. So there's video demos.
Shout out Train Heroic.
Yes, shout out Train Heroic. Video demos, exercise descriptions, like no questions asked. You're getting the best training coming into college possible in the easiest way possible. So we just start really simple: squat, hinge, push, pull, stabilize, rotate through the pillar core, and then they'll sprint, jump, bound, all, and then condition. So they're getting a comprehensive system before they step foot on campus. And then they're still in a culture shock. But I want to instill as great of movement quality before they get on campus. So I always tell them, like, I don't care how much weight you're lifting, but this is how I want you to
get it right.
Get it right.
Yep.
And then get on campus and we'll do the rest together.
Hell yeah.
So, and it's worked great so far. And all of our freshmen came in early this semester. So
nice.
But one. But she plays for Canada's national team, so I presume there will be no problems there. But,
yeah, probably not the one you have to worry about.
So it's really easy when we're going to go into the fall, and all of our freshmen I'm going to view them not as freshmen because they just spent 6 months with me. Yeah.
Good for you.
So great movement. Short, long, gave a long answer, but the short answer is
awesome.
Quality movement.
To any of you coaches out there who are listening who, don't have profiles set up for your athletes 4 months in advance on Train Heroic, take some notes.
It makes my life so much easier though, too, because then I pretty much connect with every single girl every single week for 4 months. And they get on campus, I feel like I know them already. God, that's so cool. And then there's a level of trust that's been built. So we can just jump right into the fire for the most part. Right. Yeah. So.
Do you ever have any trouble with like so-and-so isn't doing their workouts or?
Yeah. I think a lot of times freshmen know because they're scared.
Got it.
But then, I had a transfer this semester that I knew she wasn't doing her training. I'm not supposed to know that necessarily, but I knew she wasn't doing her training because she hadn't logged into the app. I'm not going to say anything. Right. But then she got on campus, was not fit, and we had a conversation. Yep. She came to me and she's like, listen, I underestimated what the expectations were going to be. I said, yeah, you didn't open the app that I put so much work into. But she's doing it now.
That's great.
So there's an accountability piece.
Yeah. It's good. The girls are growing up.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the second good question, and I appreciate this question. Have you ever had a moment where you've second-guessed pursuing coaching?
A lot.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yes.
So.
I think there is a misconception. Well, there's a misconception that it's like, because like even with all the passion and it's your purpose and you've put all this time, effort, that it's supposed to be unequivocal. And that you're never supposed to have doubt. And the moment you have any doubt, that's a sign that it's like not, and that's just not real life.
No, not at all. I think the hard part about it in the college space, right, is or what I've struggled with, is you're going to universities in these smaller towns, right? UT is an exception because it's in a big city. You find some of those. Yep. But outside of that, you're going to a college town, a place no one's ever heard of before, and finding community can be really hard outside of work. So then if your identity becomes your career and only your career. And then when I see myself going down that rabbit hole, I'm like, what am I doing?
You spiral.
I'm spiraling because I'm missing out on so much. Right. I've missed my brother's sporting events. I missed weddings, baby showers, my friends having their babies, celebrating my parents' birthdays, you name it. Yep. I've missed it. Yep. But then I sit back and I'm like, I get to wear sweatpants and shorts and tennis shoes to work every day. Yeah. And coach. And I don't sit behind a screen all that much. And so I try to go back to that a lot of the times. Yeah. Yeah, I think the takeaway when I hear you say that is like the price of pursuing a passion is there's going to be a sacrifice. Full stop. And it might look different depending on what your purpose or passion is, but it's inherent. And that's like, it's kind of like that thing where I was talking about with the baby at night. Yeah. Right? It's like, I'm not going to get sleep, It's like, there's going to be things you miss. So for, all of you listening, just know that that's part of the deal, especially if you're taking the S&C route. All right, let's get one more question in. Let's do it.
And then we're going to do some segments here. Okay, I'm going to rebrand a question.
All right, let's rebrand it.
So, and by the way, Josh Clifton, this is not a bad question. She just already addressed it. So we're gonna zhuzh it up. So the original question.
What was that word?
Zhuzh. I got that from Kelly Matthews.
Okay.
I think they do it in the Northeast because her and all her sisters say zhuzh. And it just means like to dress something up. But it's very addicting, isn't it? It's so fun.
I'm stealing that one.
Yeah. So we're zhuzhing. Shout out to zhuzhing things up. You know what I mean? You just got a little flair. So Josh wants to know what the process in getting hired in a college sport program is. But like you kind of took us through that.
Yeah.
So to rebrand the question, what are some of the qualities that someone can work towards attaining? And what are some admirable traits that are going to help you put yourself in a position to be successful in the hiring process?
Yeah, I think I can really answer this one. Even maybe his question.
Let's do it. Let's do both.
Because we're hiring for 3 part-time positions right now and then 1 full-time assistant sports scientist. And so I have, Tim, the amount of resumes, 250 for the 3 part-time positions.
Oh my God.
So you know how they were being filtered through? We were printing them off and we were reading them and calling people's references. And so I've also made an Instagram post about this, about resumes and cover letters. But I think the admirable things, right? Being collaborative and open to collaboration. Maybe you haven't collaborated before, but can you collaborate with other people in the health and wellness tree? Whether that's ATs, PTs, dietitians, sports psych. Can you speak their language and meet them where they are in their understanding of different concepts? Because they may be really great at something and you may be really great at something else that they're not great at, and vice versa. And don't belittle those fields, right? I think being really organized and on top of things, that's something I'm pretty type A, but early on in my career, I didn't do the best job of like, okay, here are my training notes from this session. And I wish I would have done that better to be able to look back over the year of, okay, this is where we started and this is where we ended. And just being open-minded to being like a lifelong learner and open to not being married to concepts all the times, because you're probably going to be surprised that your mind will change about things. But on the front of getting your foot in the door, I think it's really hard, actually.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to people want to say it's who you know. No, it's who knows you.
That is a bar.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
I stole it from someone else, I think.
Okay, well, maybe we rebrand that to yours. Shout out whoever said it first, but you're the one saying it here. Yeah. So real quick, say that again and break it down for us.
Okay. It is not, people want to say in this profession, it's all about who you know.
Right.
I agree with that. But it's about who knows you. Who's speaking about you and for you in rooms that you're not in. Right? So you may know someone, right? I'm sure a ton of people say they know Tim Riley because they see you on social media, right? But do you know them? A lot of them probably not. So I always say like building relationships with people and letting them get to know you and your character especially. I mean, nowadays people just want to hire good people. We can figure out how to make you a good coach. We can put a textbook in front of you and you can learn training systems. But are you a good person that's going to develop really exceptional people, young people in the athletic space? But I think when it comes to like applying for a job, gosh, resumes and cover letters you got to clean them up a little bit, right? If you worked in Smoothie King, I don't really care.
Leave it off.
Yeah, leave it off.
More is not better.
No, yes, I think that's a great piece.
Related experience.
Yeah. There's young people that don't have a ton of experience whose resumes are 2 pages long. Just make it a page. Be short and concise. Tell me the important things that I need to know.
Yep.
Not making up a bunch of things to make it seem like you know a lot.
You can over-zhuzh.
You can over-zhuzh. So I'm not sure if that answers that question.
I think that was masterful. That was a wonderful answer. Yeah.
Lovely.
And that was the bar of the podcast.
And
everyone who's made it, keep going.
References. Make sure they know you're using them as a reference. we called.
Because Malorie's calling.
Yeah, we're calling. So my office mate, shout out LP, he keeps me sane most days inside our office. He and I were like, okay, let's just go back and forth. You call someone, I'll call someone, and we'll put it on speaker. So we were calling people's references, and someone answered, and they were like, F no. I'm like, what? Did you know that you were their reference? But you'd be surprised. So make sure your references know that you're using them as a reference, and let them know when you're applying for things, because they may know someone at the place that you're applying at.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that surprises me. We got all these people applying, and I'm like, oh, I know this person, that's their reference. And if they would have just told their reference probably could have given them, gotten them a foot in the door.
Jumped to the front of the line.
Exactly. So.
Okay, that's
just some little nuggets.
Very useful wisdom there for everyone listening. Honestly, I think that line, I'm going to carry that with me forever. So thank you for that. All right, let's get to some segments. Okay,
let's do it.
This first segment is called 3 Things, Mallory. Okay. What are 3 ideas, principles, concepts, attitudes, actions? 3 things that can help someone get from you standing on the precipice of day 1 in school all the way now to being the head strength conditioning coach for Auburn's women's soccer.
Well, I kind of touched on one of them a lot already, but just relationships. Mm-hmm. So getting plugged in with the right people, mentorship.
Yep.
Right. And again, your mentor will probably pick you. You're not always going to pick them. Communication with everyone around you. I think that goes a long ways. People love people who can communicate well. And then I think just putting yourself out there and not being afraid of like what other people are going to say. I feel like I kind of took a leap with my social media, and I'm like, I'm just going to put myself out there. And whatever comes to my mind, I'm going to put out there, and people have good, bad, ugly to say about it. Who cares?
Yep.
So I think that's 3 things.
You are a brave person.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever told you that.
It's a scary world out there.
It is, but you're courageous.
Thank you. You too.
You've taken a lot of leaps of faith, and it's working. It's working. So good on you. Rant and Rave. All right, let's make this soccer S&C specific, okay? As you look at the landscape of soccer S&C, maybe it's on Instagram, maybe it's just within the community of college S&C, maybe it's soccer S&C at large. What is something you're seeing that you're like, hate that, would love to see less of it?
The FIFA 11 warm-up. Do you know what that is?
I have no clue what it is. Tell me.
Okay. Well, do you see anything about the ACL epidemic?
Of course. Oh my God.
Yeah. So the ACL epidemic in soccer, years and years and years ago, they created this warm-up called the FIFA 11 to minimize ACL injuries. It's a bunch of miniband crap.
Got
and
it.
A bunch of
monster walking.
Yeah, it's mobility, movement, prep.
Right.
Monster walks, fire hydrants.
Well, yeah, if your glutes are turned on, you'll never tear your ACL.
Pretty much. That's what it is. And I'm sick of that.
Yeah.
Like, let's move on from that.
Yep.
It's doing us zero purpose.
Yep.
And I still will go play different, and there's great pieces in there, right? I think it's an okay warm up.
Yep.
But it's not what's minimizing injury.
Right.
So rant.
Love that.
Hate that.
Rave. What are you seeing? You're like, hell yeah, brother. Want to see more of that. Love it.
I think just more training.
Yeah.
I think the soccer space, we're getting some like quality performance coaches in the space that are starting to like push the needle and push people's buttons. And get.
Can you name drop anybody that you're?
Well, Justin Mayo is one of them. Yeah, actually.
All right, Justin.
He's doing a great job.
A lot of love out here.
And Anna over at Texas. I mean,
I love Anna Craig.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some others. But I think Justin's a big one I connect with all the time. I'm like, okay, this guy. I don't even know what school Justin's at, but I'm like, he's doing really good things wherever he's at.
Everybody go follow at Justin Mayo. Okay, love it. If you were not, first of all, let me back up. Okay, getting ahead of myself. This next segment is brought to you by David Gray Rehab, more specifically the foot, ankle, and Achilles program. Mallory, did you know that if you use code TIM, you get 15% off and lifetime freaking access to the foot, ankle, and Achilles program?
I did not know, but now I know.
Now she knows. Now you know. Everyone go take advantage of it. 15% off foot, ankle, and Achilles program. Shout out David Gray. Shout out David Gray Rehab. He is the GOAT, and we love him around here. Mallory, if you weren't a coach, what would you be and why?
A stay-at-home wife.
Stay at home. Then listen.
I'm joking.
That is a job.
Yes. Yeah. If I wasn't a coach, I've actually thought about this question a lot, and I don't really know if I have an answer. Like, I enjoy like interior design and like decorating.
Okay.
But I don't know if I don't know if I'm good enough to make a career out of that.
I bet something tells me that if you made up your mind, you could figure that out.
What's your answer to that if you weren't coaching?
If I wasn't a coach, I'm kind of low key doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. Coaching was what helped me discover this, but entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And like, I almost feel like when I hear other people say that, I'm like, ugh. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
My friends and I were just talking about this, like, it's kind of to get off on a total other rant, right? When you're on like dating apps and it says entrepreneur,
it's immediate no.
Do you sell drugs? Like, that's what you do. You sell drugs.
That is
like,
what you do.
Bye.
This guy sells coke in bathrooms.
Yes,
yeah.
Literally. I'm like, turn off.
Yeah. So I literally never say that word.
Yep.
But yeah, it's been really fun to build and create stuff, like the experience I've gotten with the gym and what's happening with Apex. I'm so in love. Like, I wake up, I go to sleep thinking about it. I'm excited about it. And I wake up in the morning and I'm like,
You're crazy.
I'm nuts.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm kind of doing that. I don't know.
We are very alike.
I think about my business as still coaching.
Yes.
But at some point, right, the business will be like functioning on its own without me is the goal.
Yes.
And I won't do as much coaching within the business.
Look, for me, I don't know if there will come a day where I'm not doing combine prep or NFL off season. That's all I'm doing anymore. That's been recent. So that I can make time for these other things I'm really excited about. But like, you know, like after a while, it's like I can only do so many dynamic warm-ups.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting there.
Truly, like look, man, like being in there with the athletes and just talking shit and hitting a lift and running faster and getting a fly 10 PR, like all of those, like I am still as in love with that as I always have been. But
it's like Groundhog's Day.
It is, man. It really is. Yeah. And it is. And those are actually the things that keep me in it.
Yeah. Like some days when I reflect on, I'm like, gosh, like, how many more times am I going to warm the team up for practice and do hamstring scoops?
Literally.
They love that.
Yep.
You know, that's what makes them feel good.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I did my hamstring scoops. Were good.
I'm just like, is this really what I want to be doing? But then I reflect on like the moments, the things I would miss about the job have nothing to do with coaching.
None.
So that's what
completely with you. Yeah. I'm completely with you. Yeah. So I love the creativity from building stuff and honestly just like seeing it, like, can I do it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. This last segment, or not last segment, sorry, Jesus Christ, I'm really blowing the segments tonight. All right. This next segment is brought to you by OVR. And let's be honest, is anybody better than OVR? OVR is amazing. I love OVR. I use them at Apex. I use it, their velocity, their VBT system, their jump system, their timing gates are just like actually easy to use and set up and reliable. I never have to have an athlete run through a laser and then go, oh, didn't work. Sorry, don't know your time. That makes me want to lose my mind.
I need to get my hands on OVR.
Well, I know a guy.
I came to the right place.
You sure did. You sure did. And if you click the link in the show notes, okay, you can get 20% off. I think it's 20% off. You're going to save some money. Use that link. Okay?
I'm going to click the link.
Click the link. We're going to take care of you. All right. Mallorie, overrated versus underrated. What, from a training philosophy, for soccer S&C, what are some things, or a thing specifically, that is something like people subscribe to and you look at it and you go, what the fuck are we doing? This is overrated.
Yeah, overrated would probably be like a Nordic. I think that was a big thing in the soccer. Do you agree, or what's that?
I totally agree. I think it's totally overrated.
In the soccer space, probably about 2 years ago, that was like the greatest thing you could do for like
it's football
hamstrings.
Still. Yeah.
In soccer, especially in the men's side of the game, hamstring strains and pulls and tears are extremely prominent. Mm-hmm. On the women's side, yes, still, but you don't see as much. Mm-hmm. And that was like going to prevent all hamstring injuries.
Yeah, Nordics. Just do Nordics.
Yeah.
Well, half the teams pulled their hamstring. Well, I don't know what we fucking do our Nordics.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the problem is. The problem is they're not that great.
No. I can find a lot of other things I can do.
Give me a single leg curl on any machine, seated, lying, over any Nordic every day of the week. Personal opinion, I think it's better. I love that. Now, underrated.
Oh, I would say any type of like curvilinear running, whether that's like acceleration, max V, so you're opening up a little bit more, or even just like your tempo runs, adding some curvilinear work in there. And then different, like, I steal this from Coach Q, different like angular acceleration progressions right, when it comes to change direction. So everything doesn't have to be like a 180 degree change of direction. So those are some things I would say are underrated.
I love that. And Coach Q getting a mention at the very end of the show. Shout out Coach Q. Got to have him back on the show.
He saved my shoulder last summer.
He helped me get back from an injury as well. But I did.
He humbled me. So
Coach Q does remote programming. One of my favorite things to do, my favorite way to learn from other coaches is just have them program for me.
Are we the same person?
We are, Mallory. Yes.
I'm like, that's my favorite. I will happily give people my money.
Take my money.
Yes. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to have Q program for me. And so then every month when I have to get on Zoom with him, I can just pick his brain.
Yes. This is the way.
Yep. Best way to learn.
I agreed. Could not agree more. Did we just become best friends?
I think we did. I think I'll be coming back.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful segment. I agree. That is an underrated, underappreciated way to learn and get better. Last segment. Everybody, if you've been here for a while, then you know that Eleiko sponsors the last segment of the show. What is Eleiko doing sponsoring this show? I don't know, but I'm really grateful that Eleiko sees the value in us. If you click the link in the show notes, you save 10% off everything, which is pretty. Oh, you have to use code CoachEmUp10. Use that code. But 10% off everything. We are the only company, business, brand, persons, peoples in existence that I'm aware of that has a link, a discount lead to Eleiko. So big deal. This last segment is unsolicited, solicited advice. So Mallory, you're going to walk out of here. Maybe you're a little hungry. You know, a good yap. Yeah. You can work up an appetite. Okay. Whole Foods right across the street.
I'm going before I get on the plane.
See, I know that because I know you because we're best friends. And you're going to walk into Whole Foods and you're going to say, you know what? That looks like a rotisserie chicken over there. I'm going to grab that bad boy. I'm going to pop it open right here in the middle of this Whole Foods. She's going to eat it with her bare hands. Now, while she's eating it with her bare hands, because Mallory doesn't fuck around, okay? Someone is going to walk up to her and ask her, hey, you realize there are utensils here. And you're going to say, yeah, I know, Chief. Thanks. And then right after you say that, you feel compelled, convicted, overwhelmed. You are going to give them some unsolicited advice.
Just about life?
Anything. It can be about training. It can be about minding their own fucking business. I'm trying to eat a whole rotisserie chicken right now. It can be anything at all. Mallory, what is that piece of advice going to be?
I mean, I've mentioned this earlier about just like being authentic.
Yeah.
And like staying true to yourself. I've struggled with that a lot, especially working in a male-dominant field.
Yep.
I feel like men can be really judgmental, and it's like they're allowed to do that thing, but I'm not as a woman. So I'm just like,
do you
whatever.
resent that the most?
Yeah, sometimes.
I would.
Or now I'm going to go off on a tangent,
Let's
right?
go.
Like there's a ton of, right? And I have my own insecurities, insecure men that are so bothered by me. I'm like, that's your problem. Like, I bother you because you're insecure. Sorry. Like, go to therapy.
Literally.
What else to tell you?
It's cheaper than whatever you're doing, I promise.
Yeah, just be authentic and true to yourself no matter what people have to say.
Fuck yeah, Mallory. I love that. Everybody, thank you for making it. Before we sign off, Mallory, where can people find you, get coached by you, learn from you? Give us the rundown.
I'm most prevalent on Instagram. So it's just Mallory_Henderlong. I don't do X or Twitter or whatever you call that. I'm there, but don't post much there. And And then if people have like specific questions, they can just message me or find me on email. You can look me up on Auburn's website. I respond the fastest to email though. I know it sounds crazy. I'm like,
really?
old. Yeah.
Good for you.
Things get lost in social media.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad because I started a conversation that I never finish. Where if you have an actual coaching question, shoot me an email. And I'll get on Zoom with anyone and the phone. And I say that lightly sometimes because then I get really overwhelmed.
Yes.
But yeah, those are the best place to find me. Or if you're looking for coaching, if you're a soccer athlete, then our website. But you can also find that on my social media. So
nice. Mallorie, you're awesome.
Thanks. You're awesome
Thank
too.
you for being authentic and being you. You're clearly killing it. And, after hanging out with you, I'm really excited to see what the rest of your career is going to look like. You're going to be very successful. So.
Appreciate it. I guess I'm coming to Apex at some point.
You got to do Apex. You heard it here. She's doing it. Fully committed now.
We'll see when. Half marathon first.
All right. And honestly, it's probably not a bad idea. You got to get ready for that mile. Everybody, thank you for listening, watching. If you made it this far, remember to subscribe. If you're not, we'll love you. And we'll see you next time. Peace.